Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we're going to be making a placket. It's a design kind of placket. I'm going to be using my plain fabric and a pattern fabric. So please just watch closely and you're going to understand it. So I'm using a collar stay for the placket. For this is the main placket, so I'm going to be using the collar stay. I cut it to 17 inches by 1.5 because of the work that's going to be on it. I use 1.2 normally, but I'm using 1.5 because of the work I'm going to be attaching to it. So this is 17 by 1.5. So now this is the small piece I'm going to be using to get the middle design. So I cut this 2 inches by 6 inches, so 2 by 6, and I cut it in two places because I'm going to be using two of them. So I cut the fabric. I'm using the plain fabric and I'm using the pattern fabric for the placket. I'm using the plain for the design. So I just made sure I had 0.5 on every side of the gum stay. I'm using gum stay for this. I use collar stay for the other one. That's for the placket, the main part placket. So I'm using gum stay for this. I just made sure I had 0.5 allowance on every side. So you're going to iron it down. You can use your hemming gum if you want, just so it can stay well. So I used hemming gum to make the side stay. You just have to cut it into tiny. I divided into two, like into tiny parts, just to gum all the sides together. So that's what I'm trying to do. So now this is the outcome. This is exactly how the gum stay was looking, and now I've used the fabric to cover it. So this is how it is looking now. So I'm going to be making two of this particular design. This is the second part. You're going to make the exact same thing you did on the first one. You're going to do it on the second one. So after doing that, you just get the midpoint of this main fabric. That's the pattern fabric. You get the midpoint, and we're going to sew this design on the both sides. So I'm just trying to get the midpoint. You just iron it down. You can get your midpoint anyhow you want. That's the midpoint of the fabric. If you fold it down together, it is easy to identify the middle. So that is what I tried to do here. And then you go to your machine and fix this design in the middle of the main placket. So now I'm done sewing, and this is how it looks like. And I made sure that this little plain fabric was like 2 inches because I'm still going to trim it, but it's better for the inches to be more than for it to be less. So this is how the back is looking like. If yours is not looking like this, I think you might have to correct some things. So I can just trim out the sides now. It is better for you to have excess than for you to have less. So now I'll just trim it out. Okay, so now our design is coming into shape little by little. We've done the design in the middle of the placket. Now we want to close the placket completely. So I got another plain fabric of the same 17 inches or more I took, but it has to be the same with the main fabric. So after finishing the first part of this placket, you're going to get like a biro or something you can see your lines clearly when you draw them. So I just made 1 inch in the middle of this placket, making sure the designs I just made are going to be showing very well in the middle. So I took 0.5 from each side and I had 1 inch in the middle. So you're going to roll it just the way I did, because we're going to sew on it. So we're going to sew the plain fabric underneath the main placket. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to sew the two sides separately. So this is how it should look like. I made this stitch with the 0.5 I took on both sides under the placket. I just made that line to make it easy for me to identify. So you just come and iron it very well. And I don't know how you make your placket, but the way I make mine, I make it from like a particular side. So I'm still going to trim off this this fabric, but I just made it enough on both sides so I won't have problem after cutting out. So from this point you should already know how to fix your placket, and if you have any issues with making a placket, I have a video on my channel you can go back to watch to make things easier for yourself. So after ironing it well, make sure it is very straight, like very ironed. So I'll just trim out the excess fabric I have at the bottom and at the top. It is better to have more than to have less, like I said earlier. So you can always trim instead of looking for a way to patch and a way to add up, just in case of any problems. So now everything is like on the same line, and I'm just going to finish my placket because I'm done with the design now. It's just to finish the placket and attach to my clothes. So I will start by trimming off the fabric on the left side, which is the side I use to fold my placket, leaving 0.5. Then I'm going to iron it very well. Take my hemming gum, measure it and divide it into 2. This is how I fix my placket. People have different ways. There are other ways to fix it, but this is how I like fixing mine because it's simple and easy and faster for me to fix like this. So I'll just add my hemming gum under that 0.5, iron it down just for it to stay and make my work and my life easy. So after ironing it well, then I'm going to fold it to the other side. I still have like 0.5 to use to turn over, so everything is going well so far. So you iron it and you can see how beautiful our design is looking already. So I'm going to fold in that 0.5 I left out, which is going to be the part I'm going to use to join. So this is how I make my placket. Very easy for me and makes everything easy. Now we're done with the final stage, and this is how the placket looks like. I'm sure this video was helpful to you. Please like, subscribe and drop a comment if you have any questions. I'll be here to answer. This is how easy it is to cut this placket. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.